Do you ever wonder how some agents seem to travel half the year while still closing 20 plus deals a month? Like, did they clone themselves or just figure out something that the rest of us missed? Armando did exactly that. He went from working behind the scenes in real estate, never writing a single contract, to building a nationwide operation that runs while he's on the beach somewhere with Wi-Fi. Stick around to hear how he built a business that earns a full-time income on part-time hours. I'm Karrie Hill, lawyer turned realtor, EXP certified mentor, and today I'm introducing you to Armando Gomez, who proves you can scale a real estate business without chaining yourself to showings or paperwork. If you've ever thought, there's got to be a better way, this story is the wake-up call that you've been waiting for. Hi everyone! Today I have Armando on the channel and I'm so excited to interview him. So Armando, welcome to this channel.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for having me.
This is going to be good. I've chatted with you before and I'm really excited to get all the details here. So first of all, what was your background that brought you into doing real estate?
Yeah, so fresh out of high school, I got into corporate America, started doing home loans, auto loans, credit cards, student loan modification. So I did that for about 10 years, which ended up kind of helping me in a sense in regards to real estate because it was on the phones every day, multiple calls, hundreds of calls a day, and then just, CRM management, following up with leads and clients. So it kind of started giving me similar skill sets. So I got into real estate after 10 years of corporate America, just wasn't really fulfilled there, wanted to, work for myself, work on my life. So got into real estate and kind of just jumped in. So been in the industry now for about 9 years, started off as an ISA, which again, kind of complemented the skill sets that I already had and was familiar with. Just had to learn the real estate lingo, verbiage, process, right? And jumped in as an ISA. Fast forward, started a team because of that. Ended up opening up our own brokerage. It was successful, but we were miserable. So then we had the opportunity to merge with EXP and did that the first of this year.
Okay, now I just have to ask you, why were you miserable?
Oh man, it's like all the small tedious things that you don't think about, like the contract review, E&O discrepancies. It took away the fun things that we like to do, which was poured into our agents, the trainings, the growth and mastermind of it. So it was miserable. We ended up doing a lot of tedious things, and we were at the point, like I said, it was financially, it was very profitable, but we just felt like we just kept putting bar after bar after bar around a cage for us. But we knew we still wanted to work with agents, help them build and grow, and then had the opportunity to partner with EXP. So we, cut the check, got out of our agreement, and merged with EXP.
Okay, that's great. Well, we're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
So another question I want to ask you from our previous conversation. So before you moved to EXP, you were essentially acting in the position of a referral agent. You were doing a lot of the back work and then referring the business that you got out. Can you tell me a little bit about the process of that? Because I know there are a lot of agents out there that like that idea, either because they want to do it now or because they want to do it because they want to slow down their production. So what did that look like?
Awesome. Yeah, great question. So I started off as an ISA, which now looking back at it, referral agent is kind of, similar, right? But excuse me, I did all the lead generation. At the time, it was Facebook ads. That's where we were having a lot of success with. So started running Facebook ads, got to the point where I had about 12 agents that I would go ahead and pass off all my clients and appointments to. They would go ahead and do the appointment conduction and the contract to close portion. And all I was doing, and not all, because to me, it's the hardest part, is the lead generation, lead follow-up, and then appointment setting. But that was what I was doing, just, 8 to 12 hours a day, just depending on the day. I knew what my goals and numbers were and how many appointments I needed or wanted to set for the lifestyle that I wanted to live. So that's how our business started, which then, because we were already working with a handful of agents, we were already kind of running and operating as a team. So we just decided to open a team or start a team, which then led to the brokerage, which, led to kind of where our business is at now. So personally, I've been involved in over 1,300 transactions, but I've never written a contract and I've never shown a property.
Okay, that's so cool. So going back to a little bit on that, what kind of Facebook ad were you running, or which were your best ones for getting these leads that you then got?
Yeah, so we're here in Arizona, so swimming pools and like resort style backyards are kind of, what sells or what gets eyeballs or a lot of engagement or interaction, even if they're not there yet. It starts the conversation and, kind of helps us identify where they're at, what their goals are, and how we can best help them. So the best ad that we ever ran was, and we always just did it in the price point that we wanted to do it at or more. So check out this beautiful home with the sparkling, swimming pool and, resort style backyard starting at 500,000 and up in blank area. And we would just switch the area, we would switch the properties, but just kind of kept running that similar ad, obviously changing the verbiage, but those were the ads that would convert the best, was just resort style backyards or, beautiful swimming pools. And then we used to just do it at the price point that we wanted to work or higher. So starting at 500,000 or higher, when we would run like at 500,000 or below or what have you, it would get, I'm not gonna say lower quality leads, but it would get people that could purchase between the 3 to 500 range. When we ran 500 and up, then it was people who could afford the 500 or a million, 1.5, couple million, right? So it just started getting us, I guess you say, better quality leads, for lack of better words.
Yeah, I've heard that about just YouTube in general too. People doing YouTube, that it's going to be the level that they're presenting, so they might as well present higher. So in that, what was your call to action for those? How did you get people? How did you capture their names from your ads?
Yeah, so you would have, learn more, get info. So they would just click on the button. They would exchange their name, number, and email for access to that property, a list of other properties, similar homes. So then we would just go ahead and get it. But I wanted to be on offense. Like, I didn't want them to reach out to me. So as soon as I got their information, typically within 5 minutes, we were, on the phone trying to see if they had any questions about the property that they were looking at. Did it meet all their needs? Was, there a list that we could get started for them and start sending them? So we just wanted to be on the offense and reach out to them to try to see how we could best help.
Okay, that's excellent. And regarding the actual houses that you were showing, were they listings within your brokerage, or do you have to reach out to other agents to promote their listing, or how did that part work?
Yeah, so fortunately, either the team that we were on when we first joined or when we had our team, we've always done pretty well production wise. So it was always one of our personal listings or one of the agents on the teams, just to kind of help promote it for them, but then also just kind of market the company and the team.
Okay, that's also excellent. Okay, I have another question regarding this referral thing, which is that once you've gone through you got on the phone, you went through some more questions, which is great because now you have a really high quality lead in front of you, right? If you then are going to pass it off. So once you've passed it off, what kind of did you have any more communication with the lead? Did you have to do some kind of check basis to make sure how things were going, or checking on how things were going until you get down to the close? How did that work?
Yeah, great question. So we did a very good job as far as like interviewing the agents that we were going to work or partner with in regards to our expectations, our follow-up, our frequencies, the timeframes. Like, here's how you update the client, here's how you update us. We are very CRM like religious, so make sure you're adding all the notes and documenting anything anytime the file starts moving forward. If there's any issues or fires, yes, but like we had a very structured process, right? Like, it wasn't just, okay, cool, come and work over here, right? Because we had a lot of agents in the office that wanted to work with us or be, given those leads and clients, but they're like, the effort didn't match what would be given to them, right? So we had high expectations, so we went over that very early in the start. Then we made sure that they were, following the processes, right? Like entering the notes. I didn't want to have multiple email threads, so it was one email per client with the lender and all involved parties, so that way we didn't have multiple email chains. Everybody knew what was going on and where it was at. And then in regards to the pass off, the client also knew that I just wasn't bailing on them, right? So I let them know, hey, I'm going to connect you with my partner, Karrie. She's amazing. She's going to be the one, who's opening the doors and, writing the offers and getting you into your new home. She's epic and amazing, but I'll also as well be checking in, making sure everything's good. If for any reason you have any issues, problems, you're not getting the world-class service that I've already, promised you, please let me know. We're on top of it, and we want to make sure that you're, ultimately not having any issues or problems with the experience, right? So then they felt great knowing that they had multiple people that they could reach out to. And anytime too, like because they were entering the notes the right way, or I see things going in, hey, I saw you're submitting an offer, positive vibes your way, hope we get it. Oh, congrats on going under contract, congrats on closing. So I'm still with them every step of the way. We're also very big on social. So we've already friend requested them. We're posting it about it, tagging them in it. They start getting to know us, like us, trust us on a more personal level. So it was like, and that's what we wanted to, right? Like we don't believe in just a one and done. We teach our agents about the lifetime value of a client and how they could be, multiple transactions or a referral source for you, right? So like I wanted them to feel a part of like our world and that I wasn't going anywhere. So yeah, the client knew the process and what to expect. The agents knew kind of what our expectations were and how that workflow went. So it ran and runs pretty well.
Yeah, I can see that. That's brilliant. I mean, there's a lot of communication, everybody's in sync, everything's well organized. That's fabulous. And those agents, they're on your team, right? So you've worked with them and you're sharing a CRM, right?
Yep.
Is that right? Which CRM were you guys using?
So we were using Perfect Storm and just recently switched over to Lofty.
Oh, okay. And how's
Yeah.
Lofty looking for you?
Love it. Yeah, super
That's
easy, super user friendly. Like we literally just switched over maybe about a month ago. Had to switch over a lot of leads, a lot of lists, get everything kind of set up and running, but it really wasn't too bad of a process. So yeah, really liking it.
okay. That's excellent. My camera went out for just a second. I think we're good now.
Yeah.
So I always ask people what's the biggest challenge they had getting started, but yours is, a little different as a referral agent and that you started out as the ISA. What would you even say was your biggest challenge, like going down this particular path?
Well, I still think it's a challenge whether you're referral agent, ISA. This was my issue and what we tell our agents is it's just knowing like the process, like knowing how you could add value. So that way, when you are speaking with a client, you can clearly articulate that you're the best agent to get them from where they're at to wherever it is that they're wanting to go. So a lot of agents won't put in the time to learn the activities, the skill sets, the lingo, the process, right? To where then it kind of keeps them locked or trapped, or if they do start getting some emotion or into motion, they have those roller coaster months where they have a closing and then nothing for a couple of months, and then they'll have a closing and nothing for a couple of months, right? So I didn't want that. I didn't think that was the ride I did not want to be on. So it was just learning, like, okay, what is the process from start to finish, right? Like I mentioned, I've never written a contract, I've never shown a property, but I wanted to still know all of that as if I was going to, right? So it was just being a student of the game, right? Like learning the, transaction from start to finish, but then what are the successful doing beforehand, right? Like they're learning their CRM and getting it set up properly. They're tracking their numbers and data, right? So it was just putting it all together. So if I had anything for any advice for new agents getting started, it's, learn the industry, learn the process, like learn your skill sets, right? Like it trips me out on, like, here in Arizona, it's at least 90 hours of schooling and then 2 tests to get your license. But agents wouldn't even put in 90 hours to actually learn the business, like to learn what's going to get them leads, clients, and compensation as they would to pass that test. But if they just allocated that 90 hours, and you don't even need that 90 hours, but if you just mentally said, I'm going to give it 90 hours to learn my CRM, learn tracking. If you're going to do open houses, you learn how to properly do them. If you're going to do social media, you learn how to properly do it. That will definitely set you apart, right? It'll make your journey and experience a lot more enjoyable. It'll avoid that roller coaster ride that nobody wants to be on. So what I find is, because there's so many ways, like obviously you have success on YouTube. I started off with Facebook. There's door knocking, open houses, expires, FISBOs, right? Like the list goes on and on. Just pick something, right? Pick something that resonates with you, your strengths, your skill set, your enjoyment factor. What you enjoy doing, you're probably going to do more often and you're going to do longer, right? So as an example, I was already used to being on the phones, hundreds of dials a day, hours on end, and I was already used to that. So when I got into real estate, I was like, well, this, calling, leads is, seems kind of similar. It already kind of caters to some of the skill sets I already have, right? There's going to be a learning curve with it, like anything else, but it'll be shorter because I already kind of have those skill sets or that previous knowledge, right? So find something that you already like gravitate or resonate with, and then master it, right? Like just don't watch one video once and okay, I got it. No, like keep doing it, keep watching, because the more that you just edify yourself, whether it's the process, your skill sets, your activities, it'll definitely help you in the long run.
Wow, that's amazing. And you actually just answered like my next two questions, which is like, how does somebody get started, as well as what would you advise somebody who's struggling? And I think that was a fabulous answer. So
Yeah.
maybe not exactly answered is, if you could go back now to where you started, what would be the one thing that you wish you knew sooner in this industry?
Yeah, so leverage. I mean, it took me 9 years to even have an open mind to entertain an opportunity like EXP, to see behind the curtains, right? And if I was smarter and had, like Mike says, the most expensive thing that you can own is a closed mind. So I wish I would have listened to the opportunity sooner, just because the additional income streams that EXP provides, whether it's the equity or the revenue share component, it would have set us, our family, like up a lot more faster. Obviously, I can't go back and change that, but I just would have been looking more on a leverage standpoint, because the unfortunate reality is, as agents, once we stop production, our income typically stops, right? Unless you've saved enough or you've invested in, maybe you bought some properties, right? But even the returns on those really wouldn't be what gets me excited, right? So I just would have looked at other opportunities that would have kind of catered to the either lifestyle or retirement that I kind of envisioned for myself. So that would have been what I would have done for sure.
Well, that makes sense. And it kind of segues into my next question, which is, what did bring you to EXP as well as the Wolfpack
Yeah,
decisions?
so they say like numbers don't lie, right? So once I just saw the data and dollar for dollar, transaction for transaction, what it would look like to continue our current brokerage versus what it would look like with EXP. Financially for us, it was a hit, like because we were the brokers, we had very thin margins. But when we were looking at it from a grand overview, it would be a disservice to our agents, to our team, to the future agents that we bring into the organization, because to get the staff, the broker support, the transaction support, the partners that we have and how they have helped our business in regards to agent attraction or agent onboarding, or just being there for our agents on the office manager side. Like when we were looking at it, it would have been about 150 to 200K a year in salaries. Then we're having to manage them, oversee them. Or we can go ahead and take a little bit of a hit, but then now we don't need to hire that, those staff or those positions, because they're already filled. Like our sponsor, our organization we're a part of, they're super helpful and collaborative. So we got the worth was well outweighed the cost, right? So it was for us, when we were looking at it for our agents, what would be best for them, like in regards to training, support, resources, culture, what would give them that, again, either lifestyle or retirement opportunity. EXP just kept standing out. I mean, we looked at all the other cloud brokerages before making this move. We didn't just take it lightly and just join just because. There was a lot of looking into it, seeing the numbers, seeing what like business would look like in the future. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So it just made sense. So we just, like I said, we wrote the check, shut down our brokerage, and then been with EXP January of this year, and we've been loving it ever since.
I'm so glad you're loving it, because that obviously, it's painful to write any check. Nobody likes that. So that's really good that it all worked out the way you expected.
Oh yeah.
So as you know, another beautiful thing that is about EXP that started out in May is that we can do these co-sponsor routines. So anybody watching this can actually partner with both of us. One could be the sponsor, one could be the co-sponsor, and we share an upline. So our value from the Wolf Pack can be had with either one of us as sponsor. And when it's a co-sponsor, it's just the value we bring to the table, right? As opposed to our upline. So if somebody were to choose you as a co-sponsor, what would you say your individual value package is?
Yeah, so we teach agents how to run a more modern, digital, hands-off business that allows you to essentially make multiple 6 or 7 figures a year in your real estate business working part-time. So we like to travel, so 3 to 5 months out of the year, every single year, we're either traveling or different parts of the world. But whether it's travel for you, a charity, a religious organization, your kid's school, just, that lifestyle, being able to enjoy your family time, your health, your hobbies and passions, but still have the income coming in as a, top producer, or to live that lifestyle. That's kind of what we teach agents how to build and, how to grow their business. So we're very big on virtual buyer consultations and listing presentations. We teach agents and team leaders, broker owners, how to incorporate virtual assistants into their own personal business, but then through a team or brokerage. We also help agents not only on social, but become like the mayor of their community, if you will. So we also teach agents how to build community groups and how to go ahead and leverage those and generate multiple six figures a year from just those Facebook groups. So again, a more modern digital hands-off business that allows you to kind of work it from anywhere you're at, as long as you have a Wi-Fi signal and cell phone reception, but then making sure that your production continues to grow. If you're on the agent attraction side, your agent count is continuing to grow, and then more importantly, your organization continues to grow, whatever your business is, or however you want that to look like.
Wow, Armando, that's quite a bit, and that's so helpful. Anyway, I just want to thank you so much for being on the channel today. That was amazing. I'm sure people got so much information. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Appreciate you having me. It was great talking with you.
That's great. See you soon. Bye, Miami. And if you got any value from this episode, please subscribe so you don't miss the top agent story that will save you years of trial and error. And if you'd like to work with Armando, Smart Agent Alliance, or both of us, all the links are in the description below. If you're serious about leveling up and want my direct help for free, click the link below. Join our next live webinar and see why so many top agents are quietly joining our team, saying, "I wish I'd found out about this sooner." Then book a call and we'll map out exactly how you can change your life without burnout or sponsor regret. And there should be some videos popping up somewhere behind me right now. Check them out so that you'll know what you're doing when you make this important step. Thank you for watching and have a great day.